Alright, alright, alright. So where we last left off was this Razorback. We had done the bleached bone right in here. We did the same thing on the front, and we did the same thing on the sides to include the hand. We also followed that up with one of the other paints that will stay in my arsenal for life. That's right, Seraphim Sepia. Alright. And now the wash has been applied, and as you can see, it has given it a form of depth. And that's what we're looking for. We wanted something to say, this is not a 2D painted, drawing. We wanted to give the 3D effect that really gives it that ooh feel. And for what? It took us 2 seconds. Painted on the bleached bone, and then threw the wash on after it dried. So what do we have now to do to this kit right here? The next stage is going to be highlighting. And what color do you think we're going to use to highlight? The same one we based it with. That's right. There's no point in getting another color. What's the point? The original color's been darkened, it's been altered, so we're going to go back to the original highlighted color. So in this awesome thing of brushes, they're all junk brushes by the way, 90% of these are just different forms of dry brushes because, well, I might have, kind of turned them into dry brushes because I'm too lazy to just actually bust out my dry brush. Yeah, it happens. So I'm going to look for a slightly softer brush. I think this one will work. Ooh, I don't want to use that one. That one's still kind of okay. So what brush can I use? Alright, I think that one's too soft. Where's my other brushes? I know I have other brushes. Screw it. We'll just bust out the Citadel wash brush. And I know people are going to go, but that brush is for washing. Okay, yeah, just because it says that's what it's for, it doesn't mean that's what I have to use it for. Alright, so how does this work? How do we dry brush? Alright, so it actually requires a couple things. It requires a paintbrush. It requires paint. And it requires a dry paper towel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set this up to the side real quick. Alright, so what you're going to do, you're going to take your paint pot and shake it up. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your paint pot. Shake your paint pot. Alright, so the paint pot's all shaken up. Again, for those who haven't seen the previous video, when you open up GW pots, press the back and try and get that excess off, because that's what really clogs up the back of the paint pots. So we're going to take this paint pot and put it in focus. Alright, we'll set our paper towel down right here so you guys can see it. Wish there was a way I could angle this more. Let's put a little SD card holder under it. Not really. Alright, well that's what I expected. So you're just going to get enough to coat the whole tip of the brush like this. Nothing more. You don't want to go up to the metal. I say this is, I do, but whatever. Because once it gets in there, then it screws with the back of the brush and blah, blah, blah. There's bad reasons, I just don't remember them right now. And no, I don't want you to explain them on my feed. Alright, so you're just going to go like this for a second. Until you can take that whole thing and just grab like your pot and just, yep, barely anything's coming off of it, and that's what we're looking for. So you're going to take, we'll do the front one first. You're going to take this and you're just going to ever so slightly just drag it across the top of the wings. Now I don't know if you can pick this up or not, but you can see the tone difference as it slightly catches on all the raised lips of the kit, and it actually brings life to that whole 3D experience we were talking about. Same thing with this one. I went against the grain on this one just because I want the white line here to get that feeling, just something different from the norm, I guess. I don't know, I just felt like doing it this way, so this is the way I'm going to do it. Now let's go back over the top. I'm just going to see if there's any left over. It's not going to make a huge difference if there's not, but just because I could. And then we'll go over the hands. Okay. And the same thing on this hand. Okay. And now you have successfully dry brushed a model. As well as highlighted. So now you have a 3-stage simple way to bring depth to the recesses. You're also going to bring you're going to make the edges pop up at you, which is what you want because that aids in the 3D process, and it looks spectacular. It's like, whoa, did you pro paint that? No. I did it in my, dining room table. Yeah, I'm a pro painter. If you can keep that mentality and put a few kits together with your eyes blindfolded, you can sell it on eBay for like $6 or $7 million. I mean, jeez, you should see some of these pro painters. So that's it for just what we talked about. What else can we do to this kit? I mean, I could do like 40 million things to this kit. The problem was I'd have to strip it. Because you can see the brush marks from when I hand painted this thing before I knew how to use an aerosol can. I wouldn't say I knew how to use an aerosol. It was a matter of acquiring one in another country when nobody will ship to you. So, the next topic we're going to cover is we're going to cover Land Raider Neo. And for those of you who are wondering, why Land Raider Neo? Alright, so this is one Land Raider that I started with, and you guys got to see how it got started. With your basic turret and the standard Land Raider loadout configurant for a standard Land Raider. But I have all the bits to make it a Redeemer or a Crusader, and you should have caught that from the previous video where I had the assault cannon turret. Okay, so what we can do is I already magnetized and I've already pre-built these before, but as you can see, they're just base coated red. They're just a standard what are they, Hellfire cannons? I mean, I barely used them because, well, if I'm gonna get that close, I'm gonna use the other Redeemer. No, yeah, no, I'm gonna use the Crusader ones. I'm sorry, the Hurricane Bolter sponsons. I find those to be more effective. More dice is generally better, whereas this is just a template. It's not even torrent, so you have to get really close for this to work, and then only one side generally works. So I'm not a huge fan of these, but I still have to paint them, and so I figured we can do a video covering those, as well as I have the custom project kit that I started, and that was for my Achilles project. And where I trimmed a towel gun barrel down, I had an actual Thunderfire cannon sitting in there because it comes with a round base, the almost the exact same style base as this, and it worked really well. But the problem is it's stuck up and out, and when it sticks up and out, it's like sticking up and out, and it looked really, really goofy. Whereas the Thunderfire cannon, or the towel gun, actually seems to sit really nice. But I gotta show you guys as well. I figure a couple other, tips and tricks. You basically sit like that. Like that. One of the other basic tips and tricks I can show you guys is how I take a piece of sprue and a magnet and cut the magnet down and cut the sprue down. As you can see, it's a simple piece of sprue with 2 nubs on it, and I'm gonna make that fit inside these lips, the beveled lip here and the beveled lip here, and glue it from the inside, like this, from in here. So you guys can kind of get an idea on how parts become interswappable. Things I have to keep in mind when I do this is that there are other bits that are going to go in there. Specifically speaking, the heavy bolter and the twin-linked assault cannon. So I have to keep in mind that wherever I place these, I have to keep that ridge in the center line available so it doesn't catch. So I might have to trim this nub off. And possibly this nub off just to get as much clearance as I can, so when these sit in there, it's not an issue for this magnet. But once I do that, once I get that in there, I'll be able to swap out this with just a simple, magnet, instead of having to always kind of hold my finger on it. Because I'm a big fan of what you see is what you get. And so being able to swap out pieces not only makes it easier for people to remember what you have on the board, because what you see is what you get, but again, it comes back to that whole thing when I was calling this the Land Raider Neo. It's one Land Raider to rule them all. It's one Land Raider that can become a Crusader, it can become a Redeemer, and it can become an Achilles. And it can become a normal Land Raider. So that's 4 Land Raider kits out of 1. And I think we can make this work. Had I not hard glued the doors on, I might have been able to magnetize these as well, but I'm kind of stuck with it. So for all the people out there that are like, but the Redeemer and the Crusader have to have these little the sponsons in the front. Well, I'll take the, I don't know what, 2-inch reduction. And oh darn, life's so bad. It's my kid, I'll do what I want. So stay tuned, follow up, and subscribe if you like it, and well, please don't subscribe if you don't like it. That's just a waste of my time and your time. And I don't want to hear your complaints. I really don't. It's not like you're making these videos. Ooh, and if you don't like them because you think my video quality sucks, dude, please send me some dough. Like, I will buy another camera as long as it's enough. But if you send me not enough to buy a camera, I'm probably not going to buy a camera with it. I'm just going to be honest. Probably going to buy some 40K shit. Yeah, just honest. Yep. Alright, goodbye.